Yeah.
Hey guys, the lighting is so weird right now, and I like had to scoot everything back because like, see, look, my coffee's making because I really need coffee to tell the story, just because it stresses me out a lot. If I could be any YouTuber in the entire world, like any type of YouTuber, I would be a storytime YouTuber. But the thing about being a storytime YouTuber is I've always like watched them and loved them. I never felt like I had good enough stories to like sit down and film a whole story time out of. But then the other day I was with Michaela. I literally mentioned her in every single video. Like I was talking to her about like some crazy things that have happened to me. And then the more I started talking about it, the more I was like, what the heck was I talking about? Like I have so many stories to tell, but I just never think of them as like storytime stories, just because I'm like really scared of what like the other people involved will think and like all that stuff. So I've really figured out ways to protect these stories and like how to tell them in ways that doesn't like involve or like make other people recognize the people that were involved in these stories. Hold on, my coffee's ready. If you're new to my channel, you should definitely subscribe. I upload content every other day. It's a fun time. So yeah, without any more rambling about unimportant things, let's just get into the story, because this is honestly like I cringe every time I tell the story because oh my god, it's so like, oh my gosh, embarrassing. I just Let me preface this story by saying I was a complete idiot and I was so naive. Like there were so many signs about this that I just did not see, and I was just so completely stupid. And my mom told me, all my friends told me, like, don't you worry. Like, if some people are probably like, oh my gosh, like, did anybody tell you, what are you thinking? Yes, they did, but I just didn't listen to them. This is the story of how I was catfished in 8th grade. For whoever did this, I have a theory about who it was. Like, I think I know who it was. If it is who I think it is, I don't have any hard feelings towards you. Like, whatever, who cares? Like, it was in the past. I don't really care anymore. Like, I never think about this. I always forget that this happened, but then whenever I do think about it, like, I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? It's fine. Like, no hard feelings, but this is just a funny story to tell. Okay, so I was like in 8th grade. I was 13. Well, I had a best friend at this time. She was talking to this guy. Honestly, I was just such a bad human being at this point. Like, the fact that my friend was talking to him and then I started talking to him should tell you immediately like what kind of person I was. Like, I was just dumb, okay? So my friend was talking to him and she was talking about how he lived in the town next to me, how he played baseball, and like how he's so hot. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, show me a picture. So she showed me a picture, and I don't think that they were like dating. I think that they were just talking, and you know, talking, that's the millennial thing that happens nowadays. I feel like I think this was like winter of 8th grade when this started. After she told me that she was talking to him, I heard from a few other people that they were also talking to him, but they weren't friends with my one friend that I had, so I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, oh, okay, he's just playing a bunch of girls. Like, none of them were friends, so they wouldn't know. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, wow, what a player, whatever. Talked to those girls about him. They all talked about how sweet he was, like how cute he was, and all this stuff. And I was like, dang, this boy is getting some girls. I can't remember exactly how it came about. Yeah, I think I just like followed him on Instagram or something. And then he followed me back, DM'd me, then that's where it started. First, he was like, we were just friends, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'll be that like bro friend that he tells everything to. Whenever we were talking more, he started flirting with me and it was like, oh, we should meet up. But I was 13, so I wasn't really allowed to do much. But there was a carnival coming up. At the time that the carnival was coming up, I was talking to him more. He was getting more flirty. He was telling me that he wasn't talking to the other girls anymore. And again, I was stupid, so I was basically just like, oh my gosh, okay, like, we should hang out at the carnival. I specifically remember this. Whenever we were like talking about going to the carnival, he was like, oh, I'm gonna be wearing this, this, and this, but I don't really like want our relationship to be that public yet. We didn't have a relationship. Things escalated, but we weren't like dating. We were just kind of a thing. And he was like, oh, people are gonna know me there, so I don't want the thing that we have to be like really a public thing. So I was like, you know, whatever, because at that point I thought that I really liked him, so I was like, you know, whatever, like, we're just a thing, it doesn't matter. And he said, let's meet in the car in the parking lot at the carnival. Let me tell you how stupid I was back at that point. I was like, okay, like, sounds good. At this point, people were starting to figure out that we were talking. I remember one of my really good friends was like, you don't know that he's real. That wasn't even a thought in my head at that point. I was just like, you know, of course he's real. Like, what are you talking about? And she was just like, oh, like, what if it's just this old guy that's trying to mess with you? And I was like, okay, well, that's not true, because an old guy couldn't talk like that. I'm honestly so dumb. I lied to her. I was like, oh, well, we've met up before. I know he's real. Like, he met me at the pool. I literally convinced myself, the more I lied about this and like told people that I had met up with him already, the more I was like, okay, this isn't fake. Like, it's a legit thing. He's not fake, whatever. I really liked him. Whenever it was the day of the carnival, he was like, I'm gonna wear this, we're gonna meet here, whatever. So I get there, I'm with my friends, and I was gonna leave my friends and go to his car that he had at the carnival, which sounds sketchy in and of itself. Like, I honestly am such an idiot. I'm gonna say that a billion times. Take a shot every time I say I'm an idiot, honestly. You're gonna be drunk by the end of this video. At this point, none of them knew that I was gonna do this, so I was just like gonna go off by myself. Thank the Lord that this wasn't like some old guy, because I could have gotten kidnapped so quickly. Like, I just could have died that night, honestly, because if it would have been somebody that had bad intentions to kill me, they could have, because I would have done it. I was just that stupid. Like, we were just going around, we were at some rides, and then he texted me and says that he's not coming. At this point, that was the first sketchy time that he had, that we were gonna meet up, but that was the second time that he had ditched and like not shown up. So at that point, I was like kind of questioning it. How am I supposed to know that if you don't like Snapchat me? Which he didn't even have a Snapchat. So like, you don't have a Snapchat, like you haven't met up with me, so like how am I supposed to know that this is a legit thing? This is where it gets interesting. And I'm not saying that it was her, okay? What I'm saying is that it's a little fishy to me that as soon as I start having doubts about him, his cousin, that's a girl, texts me and she's like, oh hey, this is his cousin, he really likes you and you shouldn't have doubts because like he's my cousin, like I know him, he's real, like don't doubt this. And this was somebody that I went to elementary school with, so I was like, okay, like this girl knows. Again, it's like maybe it wasn't her. It could have been this other girl, because there was another girl that like texted me and claimed to know him. It could have been either one of those girls, but they were just like, they were always texting me saying like, oh, he really likes you, don't worry about it, whatever. Because at that point I was like, oh good, he likes me still, like that's all I care about. But later on I was like, oh okay, well this went on, it was like on and off. There was this one girl and we like did not like each other all through middle school and high school, like the time that I was at my public school. I don't have any hard feelings towards her now. Like at that point we just like didn't like each other anyways. So I remember one time, it was literally an on and off thing for so long with this guy, but she was talking to him first. Like she was like the first one here to talk to him. I remember one time, it was like right after I had tried out for cheer, and I didn't make cheer but I made dance team. That's like the thing that I made for high school, because it was a high school tryout. So I remember right after that, I literally remember her texting me and like giving me like the most crap I've ever gotten from anyone. Like, you're such a hoe, why would you do this, no one likes you, all this stuff, because I had been talking to him. So at this point there was literally 4 girls fighting because of this guy, and we were all like, well, you don't know him, like I know him. And then he would text all of us and be like, I love you, you're the one that I love, like all this stuff, okay? Like he was literally playing 4 or 5 girls. That's all I know of, but how am I supposed to know there wasn't more? Fast forward about 6 months after that, I think it was my friend who had originally told me about him, like the friend from the beginning of the story. I'm pretty sure it's her, but she texted me and she was like, yo, I just found the account that he's stealing pictures from. We looked at his pictures, he has a Snapchat, he had everything, he was legitimate, like that was the actual guy, and that was who this guy was stealing pictures from. We found him out, all this stuff, we texted him, we were like, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, and then he deletes everything. Deletes everything, blocks everyone, like he's gone off the face of the earth. And then about 6 months after that, there is a new Mr. What should I even name him? I don't know what his name should be. Let's call him Rob. So Rob shows up again, like randomly pops up again as the same name, but different pictures. And so we're all like, okay, like why are you trying to play us again, whatever. He was like, oh, the only reason why I deleted everything was because I'm ugly, and like I thought that I could be cuter and blah blah blah, but it's still a cute guy. So I'm like, what the frick, like you're still cute, like why would you use a cute guy's pictures if you're still cute? Which should have, again, idiot, it should have cued me in, and I should have been like, oh okay, well like that doesn't make sense, so this is fake. But no, at this point I was in 10th grade and I was like, oh okay, well now he thought he was ugly, insecurities, whatever, so now like everything's good, like let's all be friends, whatever. So I started texting him again, we became friends again, we started flirting again, and at this point I just can't believe I got to this point. Again, he basically says, like, I want to meet up with you, all this stuff. He was literally playing me like a fiddle, and probably a lot of other girls. I found out later that he was talking to a lot of other girls at the same time as me. Like, none of us really thought about it, and I don't know why. I think that I kind of like let him go. It was like down the road, and it was kind of just like whatever. And then again, one of my friends texted me that had also been talking to him, and sent me a text and was like, dude, like, this guy's fake again, we found his real pictures, whatever. And so at this point I was just like, I had kind of started to gain my senses, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay away from this. But I found out the other day, this is why I thought of this story, because I forgot that this happened to me. But then the other day, whenever I saw somebody's post, they were talking about how this girl from my town was dating this guy that she had never met in person before, and they found his real pictures. Thank the Lord Almighty that I'm not completely dead right now, but I could be. That's the thing. It's like, I feel like so many girls like want attention so bad that they're willing to not even know the legitimacy of somebody if they'll give them attention, like say they're pretty and stuff like that. Just so many things could have gone wrong with that didn't. Like, thank God they didn't, but so many things could have gone wrong with that. I guess the main reason I'm making this is like, catfishing is a legitimate thing, and I'm 99% sure that it was one of those two girls that was doing it. I don't know if they were lesbian. I don't know if they were just trying to play a prank on all the girls in the town. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but it worked. This is less of an exposing video and more of just like a watch who you're talking to, make sure they're real, make sure they have a Snapchat, make sure that they have pictures with legitimate people, because there are a lot of A, fake people in this world, but B, like actual fake accounts. Like, you never know who you're dealing with whenever you're just talking to somebody online. That's the story of how I got catfished, possibly by a girl. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys want to see, I've had a lot of really weird things happen to me. I had a stalker, but I'm not going to tell that story yet. That's why I feel like Tana Mojo kind of pisses me off, is because like, whenever you have a legitimate stalker, like, you don't talk about it. Like, I would never talk about that in a video unless I knew that I didn't have to worry about it anymore. But then I've also had a really bad breakup, somebody broke into my house. Like, I've had a lot of stuff like that happen to me. So if you guys want to see any of those videos, let me know down below. I hope you like this video, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye!